So it claims we're live, but now I'm wondering where we're live. Let me make sure it's in the right place. Anybody who tunes in now is like, yeah, this is professional.
Hey, we're doing our best.
Hey, we are live, and there are 2 people watching.
Oh boy!
Yeah, it'll pick up. Okay, so here we go.
Shoot, Bill.
Hey, you're tuned into the Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer, right here on PARockshow.com, MegaRockRadio.net, 107.1 FM, St. Louis, Missouri, AltRockRadio.ca, RootarooRadio.com, XRPRadio.co.uk, BuildTheScene.com. I'm sure I forgot something because John held up a Dr. Pepper can and threw me off. With me tonight on episode number 556 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show is John, the American Hilljack Lane. What's up, John?
What's up, Bill? How's things going over there in the big metropolis of Apollo?
Ha!
Leechburg. Sorry, Leechburg.
Close enough. Well, I woke up this morning to a bunch of 2-hour delays around me and panicked, thinking I was going to have a hard drive to work. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I shoveled myself out of here middle of last week and then froze up and had to shovel some more. And then it rained today and had to shovel some more. Yeah, can't afford my lawn kit anymore, so I got to do it all myself.
I need my kid to get a little bit older. Just a little bit.
Danny's old enough, but she don't come over here enough to shovel everything. And I doubt if she was over here, I could get her to shovel anything. Just saying. I love her, but she is her father's. She can sleep right beside work and not bother.
Hey, John. So let's talk the Hellfire Club a little bit.
What's that?
Well, I mean,
what do you want to talk about?
Well,
you ask the questions, I'll lie to you, just like we're married.
I've noticed that you guys have played a few shows recently.
Yes,
and I'm pretty sure that the restrictions in Ohio are similar to what's going on here in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania area, but
they are similar. We were never totally shut down. They just put a lot of restrictions, and a lot of the clubs that don't serve food aren't allowed to be open. We played the Sly Fox earlier this year, and then we just played a Front Street Social Club. It's up in Berea, and it's a college town. It was a very good experience for me. It felt like I was going back to the beginning of things, of like when I was in Payne's Invention. We used to go out and play in Clarion. It was really odd, being that I'm 47, and there were probably all these kids 24 and 25. I was concerned when I first got there that we wouldn't go over, but they really enjoyed us. It was a really good time, and that was our first experience taking out our own PA, just PA on a stick. We haven't done that in a long time. We really enjoyed ourselves. It was more fun than anything. I really enjoyed that club. Front Street Social Club in Berea. He's going to be booking bands there more. He's just opened up. it's a great little bar and food place, and he has a great green room downstairs for the bands to hang out in.
Were there M&Ms?
No, but there was lots of other stuff that'll keep bands happy.
Gotcha.
That's just and there's a bar. There's a separate bar down there for the band, so it's pretty cool. I was a little bit taken back. Like I said, a lot of young people, 2 girls, probably 22, 23, come up to me and started talking to me in the band area, and I panicked, like a cat scared of a dog. Wow. I have no game. What am I going to tell these young girls? Hey, I like to sit at home and watch wrestling shoot interviews. I take my dog out every once in a while. What you see on stage is, totally different than what you experience. John Lane and the American Hilljack are 2 different people.
The baseball hat gives it away. It's like, when you have the.
Well, you asked me to do this interview, and we had to try to hook up everything, and that didn't work. And I didn't have time to brush out this mop. It goes clear down so I just have to throw it in my hair. I mean, look at my beard. It's a mess. It's askew. But
I'm going to hide us on the screen there. That's what John looks like on stage, right there. There. That's the picture I have of you in the blue light where you're screaming in the mic.
I like that picture. You captured some good action shots, not just the old ones like with chewing my teeth and stuff.
Listen, that one was that chewing in the teeth one was a complete accident. I had no idea what I was doing then.
It was a complete accident. I had no idea what I was doing then either. Still don't. Been doing this for 26 or 27 years. I still get up on stage and just let's put the gas to the floor and see what happens. We'll either offend somebody or they'll like us.
Hey, let's take a step into Sunday services for a moment.
Rehearsals? Okay. Sunday services at Casa de Con.
So my question is, with the pandemic and less shows happening, has there been any writing going on?
We've started some writing. Our biggest problem with our writing is we're picky. I don't know how to describe it. Even though I put out there that I just put anything out there, I'm very picky on what I put out there, and very judgmental of my own performance more than anybody else's. Dave come up with something that we've been working on that's really, really, really cool. It's got like a corrosion conformity kind of groove to it, but it's got like a down kind of riff. I don't know how to describe it. I've got several things I've been working on. I'm always scared to approach the band, and I've got 2 of the best guitar players in the world in my opinion. And I use more of the guitar for writing purposes. I do performance purposes, and I would never. I'd never want to hinder the band itself and make them play something that they of lesser of what they So when I present anything where anybody else wants to take it, I always try to be that respectful, because I'm not a guitar player. I'm barely a vocalist. I'm actually a percussionist. That's why I always call myself a front man. So yeah, I've got several things that I've been writing and bringing back into the fold that I've had for years. But as far as us ourselves, we've been trying to perfect things that we have to a better extent. We want to re-record everything now with Eric in the band. Nothing against anybody that was in this band before, nothing against Chuck, nothing, it's just, we have developed, we have rounded, we have, there's different, when you add a different element to any band, and there's an expansion of that person, and Eric's just, what he does on the drums is different than what Chuck did, not better, not for worse, it's just different. And it has brought different things for us to be able to do within the songs that we already had when he joined the band. And then to be able to write with him now, I don't know how many you people from that area know Eric Matthews. He was in the Spud Monsters. He's been in several other national acts. He's the drummer my dad always wanted me to be. He charged stuff out and can sit there and then play when it's playing read, sight read. And he's great to work with. Then you have Damon, who is, an orchestra teacher, who is just, he can fix where we're wrong. Is always, little things. But people don't realize, like when you're counting out timings and everything, you can have the drums going at one timing and the guitars going at another if you know exactly where the count and everything is. And that's what's a lot of complication with us, is that we are all musicians, and we all think we're always trying to push that extra, trying to how can we make something stand out just a little bit different, even if it's just an odd 5/4 moment or whatever. And but it's very nice to work with guys that can think outside the box and not just try to have a song, but try to have the best out of the song. And that's always our point too, is now with this lineup, it's not the best of the person, it's the best of the song. Because of course all of us can do different things, but we got to make sure it's cohesive and it comes across in a way that is pleasant for people to see and hear, and not just to have material. And I think that's probably where the stumbling block comes with us for this so long with the transition. I mean, Chuck's been gone since 2018. We've had a couple other drummers, but it's, for me, music has always been one thing. But when you're playing in a band, for me, it's music is that band's your family, and if I don't have that family comfortability and atmosphere, especially now, I don't feel comfortable working in a band. And we're all brothers, mismatched brothers by far no means, but it's more important to us to have that communication, that friendship. We've even gone as far as, like, if this is gonna if someone don't like something that we're playing, that if this is gonna bother you that much, I would rather us not play that.
Listen.
That stretch.
Dave still owes me a Kiss song. I don't care what you say.
Okay, I'm gonna rat him out. Okay, Dave hates Kiss. I mean,
I know.
No, you don't know. We were having this conversation a couple months ago, and we were talking about Kiss songs. Now, me and Lee are card-carrying members of the Kiss Army, from when we were kids, and Lee, as big as he is one of the most quiet, go along with everything, and I forget what Dave said, and Lee is like, well, no, dude, you listen to that tune. It's a good tune. He's like, and I'm just standing there like, hold on, we're fighting. We're not going to argue over Kiss, are we? Jesus Christ, But it's very, you just brought up a good point. It's as many as the different influences that come into this band, we're able to respect each other's influences, but that what makes us be able to do what we do, even with the covers. Even though we do them to the closest of what the songs are, we always like to add our own things and whatnot. Dave is great at shading, and I don't know how many people know what shading is, but adding little parts that brighten out the other guitar players' parts. Because to us, having two guitar players, there's no sense of just playing the same thing constantly all the time. So and then both of them are phenomenal lead players. So, even when the songs don't count for harmonized solos, they can do little bits of the solos together that'll brighten them out. Those are things I normally don't talk about. I'm just, but it's very nice. And then you have Lee and Eric. I don't care what anybody says. No one will ever change my mind. It's not just because I was raised this way. If your bass player and your drummer, if your rhythm section is not solid, then your band's not solid. And Lee and Eric, they are so solid. It's unbelievable. And I'm just the beat up cherry on the top of the cake. it makes it so much easier for me when I don't have to think. And those guys, I just have to worry about my part. I know where those guys are going to be. Once we establish what we're doing, we work on that, and we come. It's in concrete. So that's why when a lot of people will always give us credit for when we're on stage and everything, and it's just because we rehearse the same way we play on stage with that same intensity. We come in, if we're getting ready to play an hour show. We come in, we have the set, we go over the set just like we would be playing it on that stage with that same intensity. We don't stop, I call it, don't let the breathe, because if you give people too much time to think, they're going to leave. So we run 3 and 4 songs together, and that's, we rehearse them that way, and it makes it more of a flow. It's a little bit weirder now. We don't rehearse because we've been doing our own shows where we're doing 2 sets. Oh man, which is, I'll be honest with you, which I shouldn't be smoking anyways because of obviously health reasons, but I've been started smoking again. So it's, I have to really pace myself. And because our stuff, a lot of our stuff is high energy, no matter what we're writing or what we're covering. And I don't like to stand there and stare at my feet, and I like to be entertaining, and so does everybody else. But when, especially now, wintertime, when everything's shut up and you're in a room where the furnace is running and everything moving at 3,000 miles an hour, you take a deep breath to, try to fill that diaphragm, and you get a hot breath and trying to hold out a note for, 6 measures. And then you got Dave, speaking of Dave, up at the Sly Fox the last time, I'm holding out a note, and he's just waiting and seeing how long I can hold it out before he starts the next song. Why don't go fade out, and so then I waited till later in the set when he went to reach down for a beer, and then fired off so everybody else would start, and he had to put his beer down. Yeah, but that's the whole thing about us, is it's fun for us. We're older guys. We've all experienced enough that we know there's things that we could be doing more, and there's things we'd like to do more. And but at the same time, whenever we do work together, we look at it as like when you were a kid and you go out in the field and you play football and stuff. If you ain't having a good time, there's no sense of doing it. And that's why whenever we play, we have a good time. And if you can't mess with the guys you're working with in a way that's respectful but just playful, then but when you do that, the crowd enjoys it more. And I'm an easier target than those guys, but I get my cheap shots in too, like I said.
Earlier you mentioned Damon being in an orchestra, and I know that you guys covered "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" with the electric fiddle. Yeah. How did that come about? Did he come to you and say, "Hey, let's do this," or did you?
No, this is the whole thing. Charlie Daniels, my dad used to like to take me to different, like Jamboree in the Hills and Buzzaroo and these different festivals from the time I was a kid. Ponderosa Park out here in Salem, Ohio, and everything. And I always loved going and seeing Charlie Daniels. And when he passed away, I wanted to do In America, because I just thought that would be, with everything that was going on with the atmosphere and whatnot. And that was my suggestion. And I sent it into the band group message. And Damon come back with, well, I just think we should get everybody what they want. I think we should just give them the devil. And I said, well, if you're willing to pull out the fiddle, I said, I'll balk. I'll do whatever you want. And that was really, I'm the one. Yeah, so it came out way better. And then what really sucked was we were already working on it for a couple months when Korn came out with theirs and Nickelback came out with theirs. I was so like, damn it, but then I'm not trying to smoke our pulls and make us sound better than anybody else. But I think our version, if we could record that and put it out there, is definitely more organic to what the song was. It's just metaled up, and Damon just rips. I mean, if you watch those videos from both of them, from Rock for Life and from Liberty Bash, I'm just standing there in awe. And I'll write out Steve Craven. Steve Craven was standing there clear back by the soundboard when we first started at Rock for Life, and pushed his way up to the front and was just staring at Damon. And I was telling, because Damon's so quiet, and I've been telling Steve and different people for years, I ain't a pimple in that man's butt. He is an orchestra teacher. He plays like 6 instruments, but he don't brag or nothing. So when he ripped into that fiddle and just made it just scream like that electric feel like he did. It was unbelievable, and then even what Dave did with the guitar part, the guitar solo on the first breakdown, everything, and again, and what made us able to do that is because we're all around musicians, we're all fans of different things, and we have fun, I'm not trying to downplay a lot of other bands, but I see a lot of other bands that I watch, and they are great bands. And then you go to see them, you can just see the tension on stage. We had that before in this band, and people sense that stuff. And if you're not having fun, then people aren't having fun. And we like to have fun together. And and I know younger guys, look at us and but at the same time, if you learn that early, if you're and you enjoy what you're doing, you'll get more people that will enjoy what you're doing and come to see you. And because especially now in the atmosphere that's going on in society as a whole, people want a mental vacation. So if they're coming out and they're experiencing stress in their life and everything, and they're coming out and they're feeling stress coming off of you, it's not gonna. That's where a lot of the conflict comes in. Where people are saying, I don't understand why we can't get to respond to somebody else, or we're just as good as somebody else. But that's what it is. And I'm personable. I talk to people, and those guys are too. And that's what makes the difference. It's just in my opinion. I could be wrong, but Damon really brings a lot to this band as a musician, but he also brings a lot to this band as a person. Damon has taught me more on how to be humble and how to look at myself and my place within what we're doing, not just as a musician, but as a brother, and then in my relationship with my kids and everything. And it's great to be around people like that. Dave, the same thing. Dave has played with many bands. He's a really great guitar player, but he's a great father and works hard to be. Lee and Eric. Eric has got his grandkids that he takes care of. And I'm not trying to rat you out, Eric, for being old, but you're older than me. But Eric, but Eric is all those guys has brought more out of me, not just as a musician, but as a person.
Hey, John.
And
I'm going to rat you out. You have grandchildren.
Yes. Yes, I do. But I'm okay with that, even though maybe their parents aren't.
I did this thing today. Here, I'm going to do it. Well, no, I'm not going to do it on the air. But you can ask Google how many days there have been from a date.
Right.
So I did how many days there are from Aiden's birthday to see how long I've been a parent. It sounds so much better in years than it does in days.
Dude, I was 19 when Johnny was born. I'm 47. Oh, yeah.
How old was I?
Yeah, exactly.
44. I was 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lucky man. I've got 6 of them. I've never have been without children or something around me. This is the first time in my life these last 2 years living here. And now I'm fostering a dog named Bo that is, hard to deal with, and all my kids put together because he's just like me. He wants attention all the time and things done his way.
Does he yell somebody scream?
No, he barks at me and I bark at him every time the neighbors leave or come in, and I put up this meme, and it's exactly it. He starts barking, I go, "Quit barking!" And he barks back at me, and that shows in the bubble of the dog. "Quit yelling!" Is what the dog's yelling. That's what we do with each other.
Hey, so Damon, you said he plays 6 instruments.
Right.
Have any of the other instruments he played come up as a possibility to be used?
Oh, of course. I've always brought things up. And we brought different things up with me being able to play drums. I mean, I play cowbell now on 12 measures. Yeah. My dad's just so proud, 17 years of percussion training, and I play 12 measures of a cowbell, and different stuff. Yeah. But yeah, with Damon, different things we discussed. We discussed different things, but we also, we work on what we do, but I like us to work harder. we shoot out ideas and then we don't follow through. But
That's
yeah,
life.
yeah. It's well, it.
Hey,
Like
Jeff Graham said is in the chat. He just said hello.
Jeff Graham, my man, former THC, currently of Jozey and the corruption.
I know exactly what you almost said there.
Jozey and the old Pussycats. Love you guys. We had them. That was a great. We just had the memory come up of playing one of the last shows. Was at the Sidebar where we brought Jozey and those guys over and played with Unbroken Soul, and Jen and Steve opened up. And Jeff was great in this band. It was sad to see him go under the circumstances, and I love what he's doing with Jozey. And I love what Jozey was doing before, but I like Jozey and the Corruption better than I do LA Nights and some of the other stuff he was doing. That's just my opinion. And it's not because of his singing, because I know I can sing better than Jozey.
Way to call him out.
Hey, he messes with me when he comes. So when I get the chance, I got to throw him in there.
He definitely. I can't remember what he said on the 3 questions in the song, but he said something.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was.
Jozey, in all seriousness, Jozey is one of the guys I first met when I come out here. He was in a band called Mob Scene. He's a hard worker within the scene out here, and it's sad that a lot of his efforts fall on deaf ears. Besides us trying to work together and do what we did, but he's always been a good friend to me. We bust each other's, cojones and pick on each other some.
That is not a Spanish word that I'll be teaching my students.
You should. I can give you a few others that, but yeah, they'll have to be off air. So this can air in California.
It's in San Diego.
They're down there. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's great to have. I try to surround myself and work with people with similar drives, and no matter if they're from other bands or whatever. So yeah, it's nice, and it was unfortunate. Tony Melotti, that was in FMA at one time, he drank himself to death, sadly, and was homeless and everything this past fall. We got together at Jozey's house, a bunch of us, and hung out and talked, and even Chuck was there, and we all talked and reminisced and everything, because they were part of the scene when I come out here. And at that time the scene was really going good when Tony was in the FMA with us and everything, and I tried to do I Go By with him after that. But it's sad to see. That's depression. People that don't deal with things, I deal with that on a daily basis, and because of that, because I see people around me that haven't dealt with it, and when you don't deal with your issues, they deal with you. And it's sad because Jozey and all of us were standing around talking. He was my age, he's the same age, and he literally just drank himself to death right behind. He was found behind Karam's, right down literally, I think it's like 4 blocks from me, and it's sad. It's sad. That's the 3rd person that has passed away that I've worked with in a band that I was really close with. Gary Biondo, that was in Pain's Invention, had a heart attack the week after Dan Macco did. But he was in New York working with other bands. Then Terry Spann, unfortunately, that was in Alistair Wild, the bass player that was with the band with him at that time, hit him, and Terry fell and hit the curb, put him in a coma for 12 days, and then he passed. So, but it makes you look at, for me anyways, I try to look at, I was blessed to have them in my life, and I'm still blessed to be able to do this, but I also look at the different things each of them didn't do with their lives that I need to do with my own, to not end up in that same terrible ending in some sort. I miss, it's weird. Miss all 3 of them. I mean, Gary and me spent 6 years in Pain's Invention all over the country together. Terry Spann all over the country, all over the world together, Melody all over the country and everything, and then it's very to look at, and they're gone. There's not even a chance of just sitting around like this and just reminiscing. And fortunately,
speaking of reminiscing, I want to mention that Chris Dittman is currently tuned in and watching us.
Scooby, the Scoopster. I remember when Chris Dittman was in Defiant, and they were hosting the GM night out at Blondie's, and Payne's Invention come out there, and it was snowing like crazy. And we did another Charlie Daniels song. We all stood on stage together and did Long Haired Country Boy. I don't know if Scooby remembers that or not. That was one of the first times I met Scooby. And then he got all thinned out and went into Skell for a little bit, and was a rock star. But
the first time I saw Skell was his last time playing with Skell.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Why?
It was at Rock for Life. He played the first half of the set, and then Bones walked out and finished it.
Yes. So those are guys that, when you really break it down, Mikey Palone has said some of the best vocalists and frontmen in the area in Whiskey High and in Skell. Scott Boyd was obviously one of my first influences. Him and Tim Amar from Triple X.
Tim is in Helios now.
Yeah, he's in Helios now. And this is not a shot at Tim. I haven't talked to him in years. But when I first started switching from drums to singing, I didn't think I could do it because I was too short. And then I went out and seen Triple X at Metropole and realized that Tim was shorter than me, and thought, well, fuck, man, that little guy. Sorry, excuse me. Hey, gotta keep me on the PG. Thinking that guy can do it, I can do it. And then we're going and watching Scott. I ripped off his Somebody Scream, which I should patent that. I've been using it ever since. But and then the Scoobster came in there and brought them to a different level. And then when Bones come in there, brought them to a different level. It's so great to that's for me. Going back to that, when I first started singing, my dad told me to go check out the two biggest drawing bands and how their singers work, and take that and combine it and try to do something this way you can jump on that wave. And that's really what I did back then. I'd go and watch Tim, and I'd go watch Scott, and I literally would take notes. I have a tablet somewhere amongst all this mess from even back then. I used to go down to CJ's Clubhouse and watch Whiskey High with Scott, and
CJ's was the one in Harmerville, right? That turned into Pirates Cove. Indianola. Right behind.
Yeah.
On 910.
I used to go down there. I used to go down there and watch them, I would either sit in the back by the bar and make notes, or I'd go out to the car and make notes. I really took it seriously because I really did not understand the aspects of the entertainment part of it. I could sing, but I couldn't front. And I know no one believes that, but and until Brent Robinson, that was in Payne's Invention, said to me, "Hey dude, it's like football, it's 4th and goal. There's 10 seconds left on the clock, and your job is just to get us into the end zone." And that one hit me. It was like, oh man, I'm just supposed to keep everything moving. And sometimes I go overboard with that, by far no means. And I have to rein myself back in, or someone has to rein me in. But I love high energy and loved entertaining, and and Scooby had that when he came in. Bones obviously had that when he came in, and it's just carried on. So I've always used Mikey as my barometer. Anything I'm doing, I try to talk to him and show him. I have a great respect for Mikey Palone. He is the Jedi of my music stuff that I do, like you're the Jedi of my broadcasting stuff. So it's great, so much talent that's gone through that band, through drummers and singers, and you just have the solidness of what Ickes and Palone have been from the beginning, clear back in '91. When we were, I was still in high school.
So, talking about Skell actually works in perfectly with me bringing up that Rocky Lamondi is watching as well.
Hey, buddy!
Because Rocky is currently running the SOS PGH concert series.
And that thing is awesome. That thing is awesome.
They just announced that there's going to be a season 2. And there is going to be a metal night.
Hey, Rocky, the Hellfire Club can always drive over, brother. The Hellfire Club will always, anytime you guys want us, we'll make Damon break out the fiddle, even if I got to wrestle him around a little bit.
And Eric Roger is also watching. He just popped in and told me.
Hey, Eric. Dude, great job on what you did. I've been promoting anytime I do my own little even live videos. I've been promoting you guys, even though I had the website wrong like 6 different times before I got it right. But trying to direct people to you guys.
SOS2020pgh.org.
Yes.
You can purchase the song SOS 2020, or you can purchase subscriptions to the concert series, and all of the proceeds benefit the NEVA Emergency Fund, and that money gets turned over to venues and businesses that are music based that were hit hard by the pandemic. So it's an awesome cause. I have sort of a little podcast going with it where I interview a member of each band the night before,
Yes.
and I did the website. But really, those two people, Eric and Rocky, are heading the music end of things, and then the majority of what you see video and graphic wise is Alexis from Alexis Art and Design, and then you have the Vault Recording Studio. There's so many different people involved in. And
you got the grassroots boy.
Show. Yep, Utah and Bob Cupp are hosting. But what I mentioned the other day on the show that there was big news coming from SOS PGH, and Eric actually messaged me and goes, "What big news?" I was like, "Well, I guess Rocky didn't tell you yet, so it's a good thing I didn't say anything." And that big news was that season 2 is going to happen.
Well, Rocky, if you're still watching, like I said, the Hellfire Club would be happy to come over and play with you, play for one of those shows. But whether we do or not, I'm always promoting you guys because I think it's a wonderful thing. Eric, I love Royal Honey to begin with, and I really enjoyed the song you wrote. So I really appreciate anybody that's making that sort of effort to bring people together, to work together, to build the scene. See how I dropped that in there?
I did. That was awesome.
Because that's what it's all about, building the scene. Those guys are really hot on what to do and what's right to do. And they've pulled great musicians in there and great bands in there, from the Cheats to Blackridge to A Common Crown. It's just great to see a fruition of great talent be able to present their talent to help the clubs that helped us, that gives us a place to play. And that's what a lot of bands don't realize is these clubs are struggling through all this. A lot of them aren't even allowed to be open. And I've watched, several clubs that we've even play out here. We've had 7 clubs that we normally have played. They're gone. They're not coming back. And it's sad. And we got some clubs that I cannot mention that are hanging on by a shoestring. And
speaking of that, I was invited within the last couple of days and just clicked the like button today. There is a Facebook page called Save Moondogs. So,
yeah.
And Moondogs,
yeah,
that has to happen. That place can't go under.
And it's been, and Moondogs has been there for, my dad played Moondogs back in the day. I went there before I was 21, when my dad played. Not because I was drinking, but because my father did, he didn't give me the best example because, he didn't have a babysitter. So a lot of times I just went and sat behind the drums and watched him play. That's how I learned to play. Even though he thinks he actually taught me things, I just imitated. I can't sight read and stuff. My son, on the other hand, has, the upper hand with what he does. But that's a whole other story.
That's Three Vultures.
Yeah, check those guys out. I still watch everything they do from afar, even though me and Johnny don't communicate. But I love everything they do, and I think they're a great band. I think they have better aspects. And that's the whole thing is, for me anyways, this from dealing with me, and I know I helped, put in the mind of what Build the Scene became, because I visioned that. I want people to, be able to connect together and work together, because it's not about egos. The music business is hard enough. You shouldn't be trying to work against each other. You should be trying to work together for a cause to build a scene. And, all joking aside. And when you have a scene is when, it's thriving, when there's people going to all kinds of shows and people are encouraging one another, and trying to promote one another and trying to do the best.
And that's one of the cooler aspects of what's going on with the SOS PGH thing. Is it's showing that the scene works together, and it's showing all aspects. We have a venue who stood up and said, "Hey, this can be done from here." And then we have 10 Band Productions come in and say, "Hey, I'll donate my time and help do that." And then Alexis doing all the video and photography and artwork and and then you have the bands and the people behind the scenes that are setting up, helping set up, helping tear down. It's all of that is volunteer based right now so that money can go out there, and that shows that the scene is alive and willing to do what it takes.
Yeah, and the whole aspect of it is there's a lot of people that always feel like they're being overshadowed because they aren't involved in these things. Well, the cream rises to the top, and you got work with people, and you got to communicate with people. You can't just jump on something. And I hope that people understand that I know these guys, a lot of these guys personally, and I'm not just kissing their rumpuses, but they are very see. Look how PG I'm being. You're impressed. You are impressed. Don't lie. But
anyone who's ever listened to John's podcast knows that he's doing a very good job, even though he let one slip.
I know one, and I'm going to beat up on myself for it. But in all seriousness, though, you look at it, and when you connect with people and you communicate with people, and you can learn so much. You can learn off of everybody when you go and watch them and talk to them and everything. And that's what a scene is supposed to be. Is and the clubs are just as much a part of it as the bands are, and without one you can't have the other, and a lot of people don't get that, and everybody thinks because you own a venue, and let me tell you, it's not true, that you can just crap money in it. Don't. And when when these restrictions are out there and you're not able to produce the revenue that you need to keep going, there's not much options. And for myself, it would not pay for me. I could do all kinds of different things and qualify for different things and different loans and whatnot, but then you're just behind the curve, and you're trying to play catch up. So when you have a family and whatnot, you can't always do those type of things. And my venue only stays open during the summer, so I have to be aware of what my expenditures are. And how far I can go, what I'm willing to risk. Fortunate enough, knock on wood, we are going forward with everything that's going on out there this year, and I wish the luck. I talked to many other venue owners, even outside venue owners that are trying to figure out a way that they can still do things even out here because of how the restrictions and whatnot. So it's a scary time, and if we one second, Bill, if we don't support these venues and doing things like with the SOS, they aren't going to be there for an option to play. And as I mentioned, my son's band, there's younger generations coming up behind us. I'm old in the tooth, but I'm going to go as long as I can. I'll probably be in my 70s coming out with a walker. But at the same time, the younger guys, they need the opportunities just like we did. So us older guys with a little bit of brains, like the guys that are doing with the SOS and everything, us trying to keep it going is a good thing, because in the end, it's going to pay for the future, and that's what's more important. Keep the future going, keep the options going. When you see places like the Rex Theater shutting down, You know,
that
it just
that
broke
was a
my
huge
heart.
loss.
Yeah, I literally, and as you see, I'm tearing up. I literally was like, oh my God, you know, I've been there so many times. I've played on that stage. I've done things, and you know, and I was happy when it went down before, and someone else bought it. Now they're right back to the same situation because of this, you know, the restrictions. It's like, oh my God, you know, this is terrible. This is, you know, and same thing out here with several clubs, and it just breaks your heart because, and you know, these people personally, at least I do, of how much they believed in their club and how much they went out of their way and tried to make it a special place to be able to play and experience things. And now they're going to lose everything. And that's why you know, SOS, when I seen it, it was like, man, that is ingenious. That is great. And to see the people involved, not just talent wise, but like you said, they're donating their time. You know, it's just like the people that come to play for Rock for Life and Gigaroo and Rocktoberfest at the Iselin Community Park, aka the American Hilljack Ranch. Yes, drop 2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a promoter. But and Matt Ferrante does a lot of that, and me and him actually communicated a lot more this year. And we have other things that are going to be going on out there that I'll be soon able to announce. But when you see people that can come together for a good cause and with good heart, and talent is just the icing on the cake, and that's what I like to see, in my opinion.
Well, what I was going to say still goes with what you were saying. You know, everything that goes on in the scene is interrelated. You know, if you don't have the bartenders and you don't have the wait staff and you don't have the venue owners and you don't have even the alcohol distributors, all of that stuff is affected. The sound men, the light companies, you know, it's to quote Elton John, it's the circle of life that's being affected here as far as the scene goes.
And that's the hardest thing to explain to somebody is bartending and wait staff at a bar don't make a lot of money like people think, and they're depending on tips and stuff a lot of times. So when you don't have it open, even if they're able to be open and still serve food, they're getting those tips that make the difference, you know. And there's so many inner aspects, and I've always been aware of that stuff and always try to treat people as I'd want to be treated, you know, because you know, that's why you hear me all the time, tip your bartenders, you know, and everything else, because it's a job, but it also, they go above and beyond where they don't have to. If they just went by what their job description was, that, you know, your attending experience wouldn't be as nice as it is. And there's a lot of great servers and a lot of great bartenders and a lot of great waitresses, however you want to say it, that I've got to know throughout the years, that I see them struggling out of work and whatnot and doing DoorDash, hoping to God to make some, you know, make the rent. You know, it's people don't realize how deep this goes, and the entertainment field itself is very fickle to begin with. You know, without all this going on, now you add this to it. I mean, we're fortunate enough to be able to play, like you said, but the Sly Fox, we've been playing there. They're struggling, and they're happy than, you know, a pig and poop to have us up there and drawing the people in that we are, and we're not drawing big numbers, but unfortunately our people like to eat and drink, so yeah, we make the money, you know, and that's what I do for them.
Hey John, Eric is requesting that you tell a little bit more about Iselin Community Park and when it's open.
See, here's where I get myself in trouble. Well, the Iselin Community Park, is in Iselin, right in Indiana, right near Indiana.
Young Township.
Young Township. Yeah. See, Bill knows more, and I'm the one that pays the taxes out there.
I joke around that we put Iselin on the map. It didn't use. It didn't used to be.
I've got to know the community, and all joking aside, I've got to know the community since I've acquired the place in 2019, and they've all said the same thing. And unfortunately enough,
it literally was not on Google Maps when Rock for Life started.
No, you couldn't get directions, you know. And now, yeah, Google Maps, you can, you know, go right to there.
Yep.
But it's 12-acre venue with immediate 6 acres right there for the actual shows. We have a very large stage. I think it's 36 by 42, something like that.
Yeah.
Covered. And we have the Rock for Life events out there. Gigaroo, July, Rock for Life August, and Rocktoberfest in October. We have some other things that are going to be going on. I can't announce yet, but it is the Iselin Community Park, aka the American Hilljack Ranch. Nothing's been LLC to change everything, but we'll work on all that as time goes on. But it's more important that we have the nice area that we do. There's camping. Our Rock for Life events are $20 a person, and that includes all those events are 2 days events. The Gigaroo and Rock for Life are both 2 days of bands. Now Rocktoberfest is really cool. Matt and us started doing trick or treat night on Friday night, where we let the community come in and bring their kids. We don't charge anything for that. And we have face painting. We have a couple acoustic acts. And then Saturday night, we have the regular rock show. Matt and Summer have really done a lot to keep things going and organize it and make it go. I show up.
Speaking.
I show up and try to stay out of trouble.
Speaking of Summer, what color are your socks right now?
I have no socks on. I'm in my house.
Take that, Summer.
I put on pants for this, and you can't even see it. I couldn't sat here in my underwear. Just saying.
Do you have a fanny pack on?
No fanny pack. Sorry. My fanny pack I think is right over here in the suitcase though. Yeah, I got busted for that. Got bagged on for my fanny pack. Yeah. I'm old school.
So people that are interested in checking out the venue, you can actually go to rockforlifeconcert.com, and there's quite a bit of information about the venue on that website for sure.
And you can go to
Facebook. Yep.
Or Facebook for you normal people.
So let's see. How much time have we? Wow, we're at like 50 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to cut.
All right.
Well, I do know. I'm cutting the F word.
Yeah, I apologize. I grew up in a family where that was used as a metaphor, an adjective, and a verb. So,
it's a very versatile word.
Sometimes a noun, in my family. But
all right. So
I just want to say, with Build the Scene, I watch what you do, and I appreciate what you do. What people don't realize, and I think that I always become very defensive of you, is how much work you actually put in. And people don't realize how much work it actually takes just to do a podcast, let alone all you do with websites and the things that you do, to give the opportunity to share what the bands do with everybody. And Bill, you really need praise for that. And I know you hate when I give you praise, and he likes when I give him a hug, even though he don't want to admit it. He just don't like the kisses. He already told me he don't like the kisses. But I try not to kiss him open mouth so you don't feel weird.
It's there.
Look, he wants to make sure to point that out. He only kisses me on the cheek. But only on one cheek. I don't give you the kiss of death. I don't give you on both.
I was going to ask you something. Now I don't remember. I know what it was. So what's coming up for the Hellfire Club?
We're at the Sly Fox on the 20th. The Sly Fox in North Olmsted, Ohio. We haven't confirmed, but we are booked for Rock for Life. I haven't confirmed with Matt on everything, but we'll be there, and there's some other stuff. And we've been working on some new stuff. Like I said, some writings. We're probably going to bring some of them out this summer, hopefully. A lot of rehearsing, a lot of trying to expand past our own selves. Even though, like I said, it's been this lineup, we really never had the chance. Until the pandemic hit, we really never had the chance to really bond, because we were coming in. We were always preparing for the next show, and now we're getting a bond, and it's really bringing more out of us as people and as a band. So, yeah, if the guy that runs the website would actually do something,
No, wait a minute. Let's clarify here.
I'm talking about me, not Bill. Bill. I just want to say, Bill's the one that messages me and tells me to do stuff, and I come in and I look at the website up. But yeah, we did get pictures done. White Feather Photography. Check them out on Facebook. Did a great job for us. We got other stuff that we want to do, and that John needs to do. That would be this guy, and get to putting that up there. And even myself, I started talking with Savage Media Group, and I've been doing a few things with them that I got to keep on the down low yet. But we've had some discussions on doing some other things. Savage Media Group, they're a great group. Bishop Savage, Tim Bishop, he's a great guy. They do a lot with Metal Mafia out here. But Bishop has been trying to get me to do something with him since we played Nautica, the Honor Fighting Championships. And Mike Wendell, who does the Wendell Effect, and you can check that out, and Ohio's Finest, and you can check that out both on Facebook. He does his podcast out there. He's a great guy. He actually brought me in and started doing an interview, and just like Bill found out, he's going to have to do 2 parts because I talk way too much. And so we're going to be doing a second part to that. But yeah, it's nice. I like I said, I like to surround myself with positive people, positive, real and original people. And Savage Media Group, everybody there is pro people. And I've spent some time doing some things there. I was even help directing and producing a video the other night, a little bit, and coming up with concepts and whatnot. They have a green screen room that they do the actual podcasts in, but we were doing a video in there the other night for Trill, the guy that was co-hosting with Wendell, if anybody watched that. And he's a great, talented hip hop artist. His songs are very cerebral. It's not just, shoot 'em up crap. It's very cerebral stuff, very good stuff. And the song that he was doing the other night, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll tell you, when it comes out, please, I will definitely be sharing that everywhere, because it is very, very, very underrated. That that's a kid that could go somewhere in this business. And it's so those are the things. I'm got my Ethernet cable to run from my box to in here. And I need to get back to broadcasting and do some of the things that Bill does, and whether working with whoever, Bill Steen, whoever.
And you got to get that Logitech camera that shows off the gray hair.
Oh, dude, I don't need a good camera to show that off. As you see, where I shaved a little bit, it came back in. But I tried dyeing my stuff to look relevant, not to look young and dateable, just to look relevant, so I don't look like even though I am a grandpa, so I don't look like too much of a grandpa. And I'm not ashamed of being a grandfather, because I'm a cool pap. You just remember that.
Hey, John. Last thing I want to remind everybody, the website is hellfiremusic.com. Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Bookface. John Lane. It says American Hilljack nickname in the parentheses. APROradio.com still has stuff on there that, and hopefully we'll be doing things with it. It's all up to me, and everybody keeps putting things on me. What the heck? Can't rely on it.
It's your website.
I know. So that's my biggest problem, Bill. That was my point to what we were talking about. Bill is a hard worker, and I'll be honest with you. I am not as hard as a worker as what I should be, and I do know a lot of things, but I don't put them into appliance and to move myself forward. And I end up helping everybody else more than I help myself. But it is a lot of work, and content is king. And I just don't want to put something out there that's just crap. And everybody and their mother has a podcast right now, and some of the podcasts are great, but there's a lot of them I watch it and I'm thinking, man, these people have more hits than what I do. What the heck, So it's not being egotistical. It's just because I just don't understand it, and that's why I really literally stepped away. I did my 2 podcasts last year, and then I should have just kept with it, but slid backwards.
Listen, I know what I do is. It's very niche based, every
Right.
aspect of it. But keeping that in mind, in January, Build a Scene had 249,000 hits. That's
You hear that?
for a niche.
240 for those of the people that think they aren't going to get viewed on, working with Build a Scene. That's 240,000 hits. Hits. You can't pay that much and get the hits. What you're paying some of these other services. So anybody that knocks Bill needs to come. I'll give you my address, or you give me yours, and we'll sit down and we'll have a talk.
That's enough of that.
No, but no, seriously, and applauding, and that's genuine from my heart. I mean, I said it sarcastically, but that's genuine from my heart. There's a lot of services that I have been involved with where you pay, $100, $150 a month that you aren't getting that kind of exposure, and that is very commendable of you. And I know you say it's a niche, but you took that niche and you ran with it and you made it the best it can be. And I wish you nothing but success, and I applaud your success. And I always support what you do, not just because we're friends, because I did before we were friends. I just got so lucky that God brought us together to be friends. And that's, as genuine as I can be.
Thank you. You're definitely, John says all the time that we're like complete opposites, and that's probably why it works. We're like magnets.
Dude, I don't know how, like I have some of the best conversations I've ever had in my life with you. And you've lived you lived a life where you had goals and you stayed the path and you do best for your family, and then you have me, and and I don't, but we somehow, and I learned from Bill, I've learned from Bill as, on a personal level and on, the broadcasting level, and it's made me a better person. And I appreciate that. And I really appreciate what you do, not just for my band, but for all the bands. And I've always applaud that, and I always stick up for that.
The last thing I want from you, John, is you've been talking about Ohio and Pennsylvania, and you're currently sitting in Ohio. So
sitting in the bunkhouse in the spare room filled with all the extra stuff.
So what I want for you is your venue's in Pennsylvania. So if you could just give a quick synopsis of what it's like to be in two different music scenes.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's very different. Without me using my Hilljackisms and everything else, it's very different. The Pennsylvania scene is more networking and people wanting to work together and really support each other. Out here, unfortunately, a lot of times it reminds me of LA in the 80s, where everybody, it's very political. It's very cutthroat. I pick and choose who I work with, other bands and everything because of that, because I don't like to do that. I don't like the idea, out here, if you play one club, you can't play a certain other club because they don't like that club owner, don't like that person and stuff like that. I don't play that. So if you try to put those limitations on me, I just won't play your club. If you give me an option, and it just don't pay my bills, anymore. So, I look at it as, what's going to be enjoyable. And if this guy's willing to pay me as much money as you are, you're not paying me, you're not giving me any more. I'm not going to pick one over the other. And the same with bands. Out here, if you're friends with this band, you can't be friends with that band. And I don't understand that. John Alfred Lane III has always been somebody that I enjoy music, and I enjoy all types of music, and I enjoy all types of people. And that's why I like what Matt created with Rock for Life, because it's similar to what I always wanted myself. And I was just fortunate enough that I was in the position to buy the field and keep that going. But I love working around other musicians. I love learning from other musicians. And I would love to do things like that out here. I've tried to do things like that out here with Rock for Dimes and Salute for the Troops. And it's very hard to get people to even volunteer their time. And it's as far as looking out people looking past their own. How do I say this? I guess for me, I don't understand. Like I loved playing the PA Rock Show events when we had Amber Alexis, uh, different type of bands. Because honestly, I didn't know how we were going to go over, but it does go over. And I think the same thing come over here is have a different mixtures of bands at a show, and have a successful show. And
hey John, who is TJ Seaman?
He is the bass player for the Godsmack band that we played with, and he's also the bass player for the new Alice in Chains tribute band that Dave Martin is singing for.
Oh, okay.
And they have, I can't announce it yet, but there's going to be an event that I'm involved with them that's going to be possibly out at my field. To say,
he says we love working with you also, John. So.
Yeah, and those guys came out, and there's another aspect. I'm always trying to bring other people from Ohio to Pennsylvania, and from Pennsylvania to Ohio, and we got to play.
Rubber meets steel.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. But no, we played with them down at Belcher's down in Southern Ohio, and I would like to see more bands transfer back and forth and gain a crowd and build a scene. And that's just, I know that's, I've said that several times. I know I say it in jest, trying to drop the buildascene.com, but it's
see, that's a tricky one. That article in the middle of the website is just,
yeah, right.
But yeah, build the scene. But yeah, it's, I lucked into that name too, but we won't talk about that on this show. It's perfect for what the whole group of us are trying to do. First Angel Media, SOS, PGH,
but that was my premise from the beginning, and I'm glad you guys took and ran with it and made it even bigger. Is that it's just that it's building a scene to give, and it takes, like you said, it takes everybody working together and looking, past their own aspects as how to make it better for all. And I know, we're all in competition in a sense, but it's not in such a competition that we have to hurt one another to get forward. And that's what always bothers me. And it seems like out here in Ohio, a lot within the Cleveland, Akron, Canton, even Mansfield area, even down to Columbus, it becomes such a battle. And I'm fortunate enough to, I talk to people and network with people, even Cue Ball from
the King of Clubs.
The King of Clubs Club, he's doing it the right way, and he's doing exactly what I would do if I had the chance. He's not catering to, anybody's egos. He's not catering to anybody's, even when the Nationals come in. Yeah, he's saying, they're going to strike there's not.
You're going to eat the green M&Ms.
Yeah. You're going to be back. You're not going to be, making the band only use part of the stage, everything like that. And those are the things that need to happen. And I appreciate working with guys like that and having that same attitude. Eric from the Empire, I hope they can open up soon. The same thing.
I'm glad you're mentioning venues. You have played all over the world.
Yes, sir.
So this last thing that I want you to do is take a moment and from your heart, tell the venue owners how you're feeling right now.
Remove me from owning one venue myself. Just John Lane, the musician.
John the musician.
I have worked with many venues and played many venues, as Bill has stated, all over the world. I feel heartbroken for you, because I know a lot of you personally. I know how much you put into trying to create something that you love and try to give back to music the way that you could in the best manner. And when you're put in a position where you can't do that to even be open, I feel for you. And I hope to God that each one of you can find your own path that gets you through this and come out the other side and still have a venue and have a place for guys like me and the guys coming up behind me, guys and girls coming up behind me that are younger, to still have a place to play. I really do. Things like SOS and any other organization is trying to do something to raise funds for, please keep it going. Help these venues, because no one else is. And and I really, from the bottom of my heart, hope that we can see some transition and some things go better for the opportunities for you venues to stay open, which gives us bands opportunities for places to play. And I hope to work with more of you and, learn more as time goes on, even for my band as well as for my own venue.
There are a few other ways, like we keep mentioning the SOS PGH, but you can donate directly to NEVA's emergency fund. There's Black Forge Coffee House in the Pittsburgh area. They have a special coffee blend that they're donating the money directly to Pittsburgh venues. And they're actually out on a tour where they have a van and they're taking their coffee and, it's black something. It's a water. And the water company donated the water, the bottled water, and that money is going to NEVA, or not to NEVA, to the venues as well. I think that money is going directly to the venue that she's at that day. So
nice.
So that
is
Black Forge Coffee. I don't drink coffee, or I would be all over that.
I had to quit drinking coffee, but yeah, I get it. Makes my blood pressure go too high, because I'll drink it like I'm, as you see, I'm on my second Dr. Pepper, and we've only been on here for a short time. So,
hey, John, I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
I want to thank you for asking me to do this, Bill. I appreciate it. It's been a long time. Anytime you want to have me on, and maybe even, if you want to bring me back in for co-host and I'm putting it in there, I'll try. I'll try to be more professional, get my stuff together. So, but love you, Bill. Thank you very much.
All right. So this has been episode number 556. This is usually where I say, when you hear John American Hilljack Lane's voice, you'll know it's the end of the show, except you've been hearing him all night.
And trust me, that's hard to get someone to do. Listen to me is not always easy.
So I'm going to read what Eric Rogers wrote, even though it's directly against how I usually roll. It says, John and Bill, please keep doing what you're doing. You're both incredible to the Western PA music community.
Thank you.
And the reason I say it's like the opposite of how I roll is I tend to like to stay in the background, which is weird because I'm out in front when I'm doing the show. But John knows when I'm at a venue, unless I know you, you don't even know I'm there.
No, but Bill takes me and gets me to go talk to people. Well, John will go talk to them.
I mean, even the shows that my Pennsylvania Rock Show anniversary shows, which were raising money for Rock for Life, and I picked the bands, and Matt and company did the behind the scenes work, but I didn't even MC those. Matt did.
No, and that's what people don't get. That Bill's very humble, and it's not because he don't have a good thing to say or anything. Bill just likes to do the work, and that's why someone like you needs to be appreciated, in my opinion. And then, like I said, I'm not just saying that because you're my friend. I just got lucky enough that you became my friend.
And Eric, thank you for the kind words, by the way.
Yes, Eric, thank you. And it's always a pleasure to stand and talk with you. I had a great conversation with you at Rock for Life, and I hope to see you more this summer. And thank you for writing a great song, and thank you for keeping things going the way you do. You're a very talented person and a very good guy.
All right, so when you hear John's voice next, it'll be the end of the show. My name has been Bill. This has been episode number 556, and we will catch you next week.